The X-Men are arguably one of the most popular superhero teams ever. Their hype and relevancy are unmatched. The Justice League, they could step aside. The Avengers, they wish they were as huge as audiences as the X-Men are. Every generation has had some iteration of the X-Men with them. The 90s folks had an animated series. The 2000s folks had it the best. A series of X-Men films and animated shows. The kiddos from the 2010s had a series of X-Men films and Deadpool. But that was pretty much it. Comics-wise, the 90s felt the surge of popularity of the X-Men. The 2000s also had a great run. A generational run even, that reshaped the mutant landscape. The 2010s, was pretty tame. Avengers vs. X-Men was cool and fun, but the X-Men comics felt less cohesive after that. Maybe it was because Marvel was pushing the Inhumans down our throats and forcing the mutants to take a backseat. But nothing much occurred during this era. It is important to note that the Inhumans push did not work. Perhaps because they were lame. I guess Medusa, Maximus, Lockjaw, and Cursed are cool. But that's pretty much it. I'd say Miss Marvel too, but she's now a mutant. A complicated topic for another day. Anyway, it wasn't until the late 2010s that the X-Men franchise took an unexpected turn. Bring in Jonathan Hickman, who kickstarted a new era for the X-Men, the Krakoan Era. The short and sweet of this era is that mutants finally achieve mutant sovereignty by cohabiting on the living island of Krakoa. Mutants receive a safe space, while the island gets a drop of blood from every mutant to sustain itself. Every mutant, and I mean every mutant, was welcome to live on Krakoa, as this era marked a fresh start for the mutant population. Finally, a place where mutants can live freely without fear of persecution and death among those who don't tolerate them. Psych! As you can expect, this era didn't last long, but it did have a good 5 years to its name. I have my conspiracies, but I'll make a video about that later on. Why am I talking about this? Well, Marvel Rivals is popping right now. It has overwhelmed Overwatch fanatics, and well, it's really the buzz. What I want to talk about is the current discussion of potential maps we may be getting. Online discussions in the fandom have indicated that many want to see the X-Men in the game, but they mainly want to see the X-Mansion, which would be cool, I can't lie. My idea would be that Convoy could have you start outside the X-Mansion, perhaps in the courtyard, and transporting parts to repair the Cerebro Room. You go through classrooms, the Danger Room, that lead to the Cerebro Room. Domination is kind of brutal for me to think. Yeah, I mean, like, maybe the Danger Room could work. I don't know. But you know, more thoughts around this. But I would love to see Krakoa as the definitive map for mutants and rivals. Let me explain. So I've been talking highly of Krakoa, and for good reason. Krakoa is a location where the developers have more material to work with. We may be getting Cyclops, Beast, Nightcrawler, Rogue, and Emma Frost based on rumors and speculations. The cool thing is that most of these characters have a niche spot on the island for themselves. Located at Hellfire Bay, the White Palace was Emma Frost's fortress. Arbor Magna is located centrally in Krakoa, where the fight would convene and resurrect mutants. The Grove, located north of the island, housed the Quiet Consul's chamber. Let's say a lot of interesting decisions occurred here. Following the formation of X-Force, the Armory was created for the sole purpose of arms maintenance. Weapons and tech were found here. Forge would often reside here. Mr. Sinister's area is called Bar Sinister. It's riddled with his latest abomination and clones for himself. Not to mention, it also housed unethically obtained DNA of prominent mutants and housed Moira clones. These are just the ones that I would love to see in Rivals, but there are other niche spots on Krakoa. House of M, Magneto's past residence before he left for Morocco, Agademo's habitat / the Sextant, and the Green Lagoon would be cool. The developers can experiment and see what fits their rendition of Krakoan rivals. The island is sentient, and it'd be cool if Krakoa had some form of autonomy as Clintar does. The possibilities are endless for the devs, and I hope they really maximize on it if Krakoa is a map. Since I'm on the topic of the Krakoan era, it'd be cool if we do get to see Professor X. I mean, most people online attribute him to being confined in a wheelchair if he were to be added in the game. Still, I think we should get the iteration from the Krakoan era. I mean, duh. Hopefully, if Marvel Rivals does go with the Krakoan map and fans love it and become hooked on the lore, this will indicate to Marvel that the Krakoan era was cut short and should be revisited. Anyway, this is what I think. I'd like to know your thoughts about my take and what other maps you would wish to see added to Marvel Rivals. Perhaps Battle World would be added soon. Who knows? It'd be a cool addition. If you enjoyed my video and want to encourage me to post more / similar videos, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Thanks.